Money Vikings, welcome back to the channel. Money Viking G here. Thanks for joining. Do appreciate it. If I add any value, if our channel, if our blog adds any value to your life, please consider subscribing and sharing so that we can continue to grow. We do all things, for those of you new, we do all things personal finance, investing, crypto, basically building wealth as a middle-class person. That's basically the theme. I do collectibles in there too, because of, collectibles I do think have a place in building wealth and just enjoying life, because I really like them and I love the art and everything about it. So I want to do an interesting one for 2025. It's basically five truths about investing and building wealth in the year 2025 that I think are going to carry us through the year, sort of themes that I think are going to keep going. The first one is that we're in an interesting time, and I'll explain to you the challenge, and I'll explain to you what you can do about it, what we can do about it to manage it. So we live in a very interesting time in terms of the economy and the market. In general, there's been doomsayers for a couple of years that have been completely proven wrong. The economy has continued to churn and burn. The S&P 500, the 500 strongest companies in the United States have continued to grow over time and continue to thrive, basically led by what they call the Magnificent Seven, right? The big tech companies that have actually created most of the growth. The other companies have actually kind of stalled or lagged. But here's the deal. The bottom line is, with investing, no one knows what the future holds. You don't know if this is going to be a down year, up year. No one knows. And as a Gen Xer, I've now lived through several black swan events, which you absolutely cannot anticipate. Things like 9/11 and pandemics and the Great Recession. There might have been a few people that could see it or had a sense, but on a massive scale, we did not know. So those can create problems. So the bottom line is, we have to continue. What do? We have to continue to have strategic, diversified portfolios of assets. So that's the beauty of diversification, is that you are, spreading your risk, quote unquote. And the other thing you have to really keep in mind is that even if this year is a down year and markets tank and your portfolio goes down, 20%, 30%, whatever, maybe it won't. Maybe it'll go up that much. I don't know. No one knows. But if it does, you have to remember that there's never a magical day when you're just taking your entire stock portfolio or investment portfolio of bonds and mutual funds or whatever and just selling it all. You're building a passive income machine. So year to year, it shouldn't matter too much how much the total balance is, as long as there's growth over the medium and long term. The short term doesn't matter as much, because you're trying to create a system where in the future, at some date when you choose to retire, if that's 50 or 55 or 60 or whatever, and draw off of that account to fund other things in your lifestyle, you're creating a passive income machine. So that's the answer to that. But it is a brutal truth of 2025 that we don't know what's going to happen. We've had 2 really good years in the stock market, and crypto seems poised to do very well. But again, no one knows. So we have to be very thoughtful and cognizant of that. The second brutal truth, I can kind of feel it and sense it, and I think a lot of you can as well, that especially people that kind of follow our channel, or I can tell from the comments, people are savvy, they're thoughtful, they're intelligent, you guys are doing research. The brutal truth is that technology is poised to continue to disrupt sort of things, and it just seems to be the natural way. So we have to be thinking in a mindset of being ready for that. Artificial intelligence seems to be on the brink of some major advancements in being a human, I guess you could say, but it is definitely going to make a difference. So I would say what we have to be doing is the answer to that, or the antidote to that, I think, is to be a conscious, sort of thoughtful person that is continuing to learn, sharpen your skills, learn new skills, and to just try to be ready for whatever's kind of coming next in your job and in your investing. So that's definitely going to be a theme for 2025. For 2025, I think it's another kind of stinky down year, to be honest, for real estate. So shifting to real estate a little bit. I'm long real estate, investments, and I like the idea. But, owning, it was really hot on YouTube for many years to be into real estate investing. But owning properties you'll find over time when you get into it, and I've been involved in it for a long time, it can be really cumbersome at times. Dealing with a physical property is actually a lot, and can have a lot of hidden costs, surprise costs, and a lot of surprise work that can just come out of nowhere. So if you're not prepped for that, that's just going to continue. That's the reality of it. So that's kind of on the real estate front. On the collecting front, so that's my fourth kind of topic for 2025. In terms of being a collector, I'm definitely continuing to ramp back. Those kind of go-go days are kind of over. I'm going to be very selective in what I'm acquiring. Number one, you have to have space to keep all this stuff. And, a lot of stuff billed as quote unquote collectibles really won't go up that much in value. So you have to be very thoughtful and careful about it. I've also had an experience where if you're going through an estate, with someone that's passed away, you just realize that a lot of times, leaving all these collectibles and things to your heirs, can be very cumbersome, because, fashions change in terms of collectibles, things just change. And so, you just have to be very careful with that stuff. So again, I'm going to ramp back on that. That's just, that's not a required expense or anything. So that is number 4. Number 5 theme for 2025 is, again, on the health topic. You got to get back to, if you have a wealth building mindset, you have got to get your own personal health, managed somehow. So I would just encourage you to do what you have to do, whatever motivates you to get your health, to eat healthier, to move more, to connect with friends and family, to think about, proven supplements, all kinds of stuff to take care of ourselves. I mean, I know a lot of my audience are Gen Xers, and so Gen X, even millennials are like 40 now. So, it's not the 20s and 30s. It's different, right? So you got to think about health. The reason I say that is because in general, healthcare can be pretty confusing in the United States, and it can be hit or miss. I wish it was better, but it's just not. It's kind of a confusing system. So you got to take your own personal health into your hands at some level. I really believe in that. I'm hoping for some big changes in terms of the ingredients and things that go in our food. Hopefully a lot of that junk, some of those chemicals are outlawed or banned. I really hope so that we can kind of get healthy again. So with that, those are 5 themes for 2025. And thanks for watching. Check out the next one, and I'll see you all later. So have a great week. Bye.